So let's start either in a Supta Baddha Konasana or a child's pose, your choice. We'll just start in a relaxed pose and start to settle in. So for now, just coming into the breath. Just noticing the breath for now. And just noticing the points of contact between your body and the mat. Just noticing it, how it feels against your arms, against your legs. Remembering that you are fully supported. We'll start to deepen the breath a little bit. Some nice inhales and exhales. Maybe even making the exhalation a little bit longer. Any special requests tonight, Bianca? Good, okay. Let's start sitting up, since we are sitting up, and you are of course always invited to sit on a blanket if you'd like. You can elevate the hips a little bit. And we can sit either cross-legged or put one heel in front of the other. Hands on your thighs or on your knees. And let's just bring awareness to the spine for now and see if we can get some length in there by maybe lifting the crown of the head and just see what happens. See if we can get a little more length. See if we can bring our awareness to the spine and how it is sitting in space. Breathe fully and deeply through the diaphragm. You could even place your hands on your belly if you'd like. Chin can just be parallel to the mat. Let's start with an inhale with the arms up overhead. And then clasp the hands and turn them inside out and press up as you exhale. And then inhale again. And then release the arms by your sides. We'll do one more. Inhaling the arms up overhead, interlacing the fingers and then pressing them up inside out for the exhale. And then another inhale, reaching up and then releasing as we exhale. We'll bring the hands in front, get some length in the spine. So potted palm with tented fingers, we'll just start to crawl forward. Keeping the spine straight. Don't let the back round here. And you'll only go as far as you can comfortably go before the hips want to come up off the mat. And that's when you'll press your arms, you'll press the fingers into the floor or the mat and press the hips back down again so you can stay rooted and grounded, and then reach forward just a little more. Tuck the chin slightly just to elongate the neck. And feel the length coming into the spine here. Feel the space between the vertebrae. Full deep breaths. And slowly we will start to make our way back up. You can just walk the arms back. And then from here we'll inhale the right arm up. And then exhale the right arm to the left knee, and we'll take a light twist, looking over the left shoulder. Nice and easy, we don't have to go too far. And then exhale your way back to the front, taking your time. Whenever that exhale comes in, we don't want to rush it. Then we'll inhale the left arm up, and exhale the left arm comes to the right knee. We look over the right shoulder. Full deep breaths. And then on your next exhale, whenever that happens, we'll come back to the front again. And then from here, let's just bring awareness to the neck. We'll do a little bit of stretch in the neck. So we'll inhale while the neck is in the center. And then as we exhale, let's just let the head fall over to the left so that you can feel like your ear is coming parallel to the shoulder. Just let gravity do the work. Then we'll inhale back to center. And then we'll exhale and let the head just gently fall over to the right. Keep breathing through the belly. And we'll inhale back to center. And then this time exhale and let the chin fall to the chest. Full deep breaths, checking in, making sure your spine is still straight. And then we'll start some half circles. So on the inhale, you'll turn your head over to the side and allow it to start gently rolling up the side of the chest. Gently, gently, until it feels like the ear is coming parallel with the shoulder again. And then as you exhale, you'll turn and look down and let the head gently roll back to center, chin to chest. And then on the next inhale, we'll very slowly start to roll up the other side. And then we'll exhale, turn the head, look down, come back to center. So I'm going to have you do a few rounds of this on your own, synchronizing the breath with the movement. The inhale is the rolling up the side, and then the exhale is the rolling back to center. And then we inhale and roll up the opposite side, and then exhale back to center. We'll do one more round. Again, at your own pace, synchronizing your breath with the movement. And then when you come to the center, we'll just gently lift our head back to a neutral position. And then we'll cross the legs, come forward onto hands and knees. If you need to pad your knees, you can use a blanket or whatever you have handy. We'll start with some cat-cows. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Arms are strong, legs are strong. And then as we exhale, rounding the back and letting the chin come to the chest again. And then as the breath comes in, once again, dropping the belly, gaze is up, exhale, rounding the back. So again, we'll just go through a few rounds. You'll go at your own pace, synchronizing your breath with your movement. And keep the arms and legs strong here. You'll get a little bit more out of it. We don't want to push or force, but you will get a lot more stretch that way. Then from here, we'll just do 2 more rounds, and then we'll meet in a neutral spine after your second one. Full deep breaths, keeping the belly soft and relaxed. Hope that feels good. Then let's take the right leg back and come to the ball of the foot. So on the ball of the foot, we're going to stretch the back of the right leg, coming into the calf muscle and the hamstring. Press the heel back, and you'll notice the intensity picks up a little bit. So keep the breath full and deep. And if it's really tight, you can press back and then release, and then press back and release a couple of times. Again, that's up to you, up to your body and what your body wants to do. Gaze can be just past the mat. Arms are strong. And then we'll take the right leg behind the left onto the outer edge of the foot, looking over the left shoulder. Again, full deep breaths here, keeping the belly soft. Feeling the hips stretch, maybe even all the way up into the rib area. Then we'll take the right leg back to starting, and then reach back with the left. So we'll just, again, on the other side, coming to the ball of the foot, pressing the heel back, breathing into it. Full deep breaths. And again, you can also press back and release a couple times if that feels better for you. And let's take the left leg behind the right, again looking over the right shoulder this time. Notice where you're feeling this, if it's more in the lower back, in the hips, in the shoulder, maybe all the way down the whole left side of the body. And we'll bring the left leg back to starting, and then come to sit on the heels. This one's specifically for Devin. We're gonna come and lean back a little bit so we can start with the quadriceps. So you can just start by leaning back on the arms. And we don't have to go far, we can just stay here with straight arms. You can try to test it out, maybe bend the elbows a little bit and see what happens. But otherwise, straight arms are fine. We're gonna stretch the quads a few times, so there's no need to push it or anything. Full deep breaths. And then slowly we'll make our way back up. Come back to hands and knees. Let's take the right leg back. We're going to come into our balance pose. So once you feel steady, go ahead and take the left arm forward, reaching back with the right leg. Again, full deep breaths, find your balance. If this feels easy and okay, you can reach back, take the right foot or ankle, and lift up. As always, it's just an option. Beautiful. Full deep breaths. And then we'll go ahead and release the leg, but keep reaching forward with the arms. So we'll do 3 more breaths here, just so we can build up some more internal heat. And then on your 3rd exhale, we'll just come back down to starting. And then we'll come to the other side. So we'll take the left leg up and then reaching forward with the right arm whenever you're ready. And you don't have to. You can also keep both hands on the mat if you want to as well. But if it feels okay and you feel pretty steady, go ahead and take the right arm forward. And just like we did on the other side, if it feels okay, you can also reach back, take the foot or ankle, open up the chest a little bit. Notice how you can probably feel some of this in the pectoral muscle. Full deep breaths. And then go ahead and release the leg, but keep reaching forward with the arm and reaching back with the leg. So 3 more breaths here. And then just like we did on the other side, when your next exhale comes in, we'll go ahead and release and bring everything back to the mat. And then from here, let's inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling and exhale the left under the right. We'll come into our floor twist. I know you know this one so well, so just as a reminder, the right hand can just stay where it is. You can press the arm into the mat as your foundation or your support. You can even increase the twist that way. You can also reach the arm forward. You could also lift it up towards the ceiling, rest on the lower back, or wrap around the waist. So just choose whichever one works for you. And just focus on the breath. Allow the exhalations to bring you deeper into the pose. And then slowly bring your hand back to the mat next to your face. Press to come up and out. Full inhale and exhale here. And then the next inhale, take the right arm up. And then the right arm comes underneath the left. And we take the twist on the other side. So again, we're on the head and the shoulder. And that left arm can just stay where it is. Can also take the arm and walk it forward or raise it up towards the ceiling, or again, resting on the low back or around the waist. And one side might even be different than the other. You might decide to use a different option. Full deep breaths again, letting the exhalation just bring you in a little deeper. And then slowly go ahead and bring your left hand to the mat. And then again, we'll press to come up and out. And then we'll crawl forward onto our bellies. So from your belly, you can bring your left arm in front. Just reach back, take the right foot or ankle, And just gently bring the leg in, and we'll get another quad stretch here. Don't forget the full deep breaths. We're still breathing from the belly, even though we're on the floor. And you can feel your belly against the mat, expanding and contracting with every breath. And again, just notice what happens during the exhalations with the leg. And then go ahead and release the right leg, and we'll switch over to the other side. So the right arm can come to the front. You can rest your forehead on the forearm as well. And then we'll reach back, take the left ankle or foot, and just pull it in close to the body. Same thing on this side, just letting the breath take us there. And go ahead and release the left leg. Let's bring the arms out to the sides with tented fingers at 90-degree angles. And then we'll press up as we inhale. And as we exhale, we'll dip the left shoulder and go ahead and lower the head and look underneath the right. And then we'll inhale back through center. And then we'll exhale and dip the right shoulder and look under the left. Inhale through center. One more time, we'll dip the left shoulder. Then inhale through center. And exhale, dip the right one more time. And then we'll inhale right back through center again. And then exhale and release. And this time, let's bring the hands behind our back, clasp the hands, and just straighten the arms and lift up. And if you can take the legs up too, that's great. Let's take a few breaths here. Just a little bit of back strengthening. And then slowly release, come all the way down to the mat. Let the hands come to the low back before releasing them to your sides. And then turn your head to one side, take a little rest. And then we'll turn our head, come back to center. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Actually move them down about halfway so that they're right at your ribs. And then from here, just press the upper body up. Not too high. We're coming into cobra, but we're pressing the tops of the feet into the mat as well. And then slowly release. And then press our way back up into our tabletop. So from here, let's just slide the right foot forward so we can come into a lunge. We can get into the hips a little bit, especially where Devin did a lot of running. So keep the legs as wide as you need them to be so you can have the support. And then we'll take the arms up overhead and reach up. And again, keep the knees padded if you need to. And then on the next exhale, go ahead and bring the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Hands together in front of the heart. We'll just stay here and breathe. If you want, you can curl the toes under and straighten the back leg, but as always, it's just an option. And if you're feeling wobbly, come back down, maybe widen your stance a little bit. Just a way to make it easier for yourself. Full deep breaths. Beautiful. Then go ahead and release the back leg, point the toes. We'll both come forward. Let's get into the hip a little bit. Take that right leg out. Again, the foot can be flat or you can be on the outer edge. That's up to you. You can just stay here with straight arms for now. Settle in, and then we'll come up. We'll take the right hand and press against the upper right thigh. Look over the right shoulder. Full deep breaths. If you want to reach back and take the left ankle or foot, you can, but that's just an option. Otherwise, you'll just keep on pressing into the upper thigh. Just think about opening the chest up towards the sky, even moving the gaze a little bit over the shoulder and up so that we're opening up the front of the body. And then slowly we'll turn back to the front. So we can stay here, or you can come down deeper onto elbows or elbows to a block or whatever you want to do. And we'll just stay here for a few more breaths. From the belly, keep the belly soft. Again, just letting gravity do the work. And then slowly we'll start to come back up. So we'll make our way back to center, bring the right leg in. We'll get a hamstring stretch here. So we'll move the hips, slide the hips back so that the front leg straightens. And again, you can either keep the foot flat or lift the toes. And the knee can be bent any amount. And you'll know because the hamstrings, you will definitely feel it. So again, especially with the hamstrings, don't push or force. Just let them stretch on their own, gently and naturally. All we need to do is breathe. And then bend the right knee and we'll slide the leg back. And we'll just slide forward with the left leg. So go ahead and come forward into your low lunge. Get comfortable. Make sure your knee is padded if you need it to be. And then we'll inhale and we'll swing the arms up overhead and reach up. Again, full deep breaths. Notice if you're feeling it in the front of the right leg, the hip and the thigh. And then on the next exhale, whenever that is, we'll bring the right elbow to the outer left thigh. Again, hands together in front of the heart. We'll just stay here and breathe. Or you can curl the toes under and straighten the back leg on this side as well. Full deep breaths. If you took the back leg up, go ahead and lower the back leg, and then we'll all turn towards the front and start to take the left foot out to the side of the mat, either on the edge of the mat or just past the edge of the mat. And again, we'll stay here with the arms straight, and then the left hand will come to the upper thigh. So the foot can be flat or on the outer edge. And then we'll press into the upper thigh and look over the left shoulder. And again, just an option. You can bend the right knee and reach back, take the foot or ankle, but only if it's available and it feels okay either way. We're opening up the chest, looking up towards the sky and over the left shoulder. And release the foot or ankle if you did take it up. And then we'll all turn back to the front. And again, we can stay here just for a few breaths. You can come in deeper if you want to. If you want to come down onto elbows or even lay down, or straight arms is fine too. We'll just stay here for a couple more breaths. And then slowly we'll start to come out of this. So we'll start to bring that left leg back in and then slide the hips back so we get that stretch in the right leg. So again, the foot can be flat or the toes can point up. And we're just folding over the left leg here. Then slowly bend the left knee, slide the leg back. Let's come into a downward facing dog. We won't be up here for too long. I know you guys haven't practiced in a little bit, so we'll take it slow. From your downward facing dog, just walk your hands backwards towards your feet. Keep the knees bent. We'll come into ragdoll. And keep the feet about hips width apart. So let go of the head and neck, shake the head yes and no, grab opposite elbows, keep the knees bent, and let the upper body just hang forward. Maybe even shake your head yes and no, just to see if you can let go a little more. And then as usual, maybe play around with the shifting the weight of the feet, maybe from one foot to the other or from the front of the foot to the back of the foot. Let the upper body just kind of swing nice and loose. This is really just about being able to relax and getting some space between the vertebrae, just letting gravity help. And then from here, keeping the knees bent, bring your hands either to the mat or to a block. So the block can be at any height that you need it to be. And we'll just have it right in front of our feet. And as we inhale, we're going to bend the knees a little bit. And then as we exhale, we'll bring the legs towards straight. So it's like a folding forward. And then inhaling and bending the knees. And then exhaling the legs towards straight. So let's do that a few rounds. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, towards straight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we'll do 2 more rounds. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale last time. And then the exhale is another forward fold. From here, we'll inhale, we'll come up to standing with a flat back. Arms can be out by your sides. And then exhale, hands into Namaste. From here, we'll just take a step forward and a wide step back. And the feet, again, are about hips width apart. We're going to bring the arms behind our back. So you can either clasp the hands with straight arms or you can take opposite elbows. It's up to you. And then slowly we'll start to fold forward, hinging at the hips. Make sure the hips are square. Coming into pyramid pose. We're only going halfway. And then we'll press into the feet to come back up again. And then from here, we're going to take the arms up overhead And bend the front knee. We'll come into warrior one. And then as we exhale, we'll straighten the front leg and just fold forward. And the knee can be bent any amount. And then with your hands either on the blocks or on the mat with tented fingers, you're going to bring your left leg, just kind of kick it up to sit next to the right leg. And then we'll bend the knees and we'll inhale up into chair. Full deep breaths. Keep the knees above the ankles as best you can. And then we'll press all the way up into standing. And we'll exhale into namaste. And then release the arms. Now we're going to take the right leg back. Again, keeping the feet about hips width apart. And the hands can be behind your back clasped, or you can take opposite elbows. So if you feel wobbly doing this, just take the legs wider. It's absolutely not a problem. It'll just give you a more solid foundation. And then slowly start to fold forward, hinging at the hips. And we're pressing the legs into the mat. We're only coming down about halfway so that your spine is parallel to the floor. Full deep breaths. And then slowly press your feet into the floor to come back up. Beautiful. Then release the arms and then swing them forward and up. Bend the front knee. We'll come into warrior one. And then on the next exhale, we'll straighten the front leg and just fold forward. So if you need to bring your hands to blocks, whatever you need to do is fine. You can also bend that front knee any amount. Full deep breaths. And then once again, we'll bring the right leg up to meet the left. And then bring your left foot to the center and bring your right foot behind it. So you want to it's almost like you're trying to get your toes to touch. And then from here, while you're folded over, the knees can be bent any amount. We're folding over and we're going to walk the hands over to the right so that the left hip gets a stretch along the IT band here. And then let's slowly walk the hands back to center. Uncross the feet. We'll cross the other way. So now the left leg comes behind the right. Try to get the toes to touch or just to be near each other. And then keeping the knees bent and the fold forward, we're just going to walk the arms over to the left and maybe even press that right hip out a little bit to feel the stretch along the other side. Then slowly make our way back to center, uncross the feet, bend the knees, bring your hands to your waist, and then slowly just press right up to standing. Awesome. Then from here, let's keep the feet about hips width apart. And we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Take the left wrist with the right hand and just slowly lean over to the right. Again, pressing both feet into the mat. Then we'll inhale back to center. Take the opposite wrist and gently lean over to the other side. And then inhale back to center and then release the hands. So from here, let's bend the knees. Keep them soft. We're going to take the right leg and cross it over the left. So a figure 4 and hands in front of the heart. We're going to do a balance pose. And if you want to do this near the wall, something you can grab, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll just stay here and start sitting back like we're coming into a chair pose. Take your time. You don't have to come down too far. Just feel it out and see how it goes. And we'll just keep sitting, keep lowering. Maybe even find a drishti point, so anything you can set your gaze on. Slowly, slowly. And then slowly we'll start to come up. Uncross the legs. Awesome. Woo! And shake it out. Good job. Balance is hard. It's very challenging. We'll come to the other side. We'll bend the knees first and then cross the left ankle in front of the right thigh. And again, we'll just start to sit back like we're going to sit in a chair. So the booty goes backwards. Again, just stay with the breath. And again, maybe find another drishti point. Breathing through the belly. And then again, we'll slowly come up, taking our time. If possible, shake that out. Great, and then let's just come all the way down back to sitting. So if you want, you can sit on your blanket again. I'm going to do a little bit more with the legs. And also, if you want, you can roll up a blanket or a towel or whatever you have. We'll place them underneath the knees. And then we'll flex the feet, keep them about hips width apart. So if you're sitting on a blanket, just feel your pelvis. Your pelvis should be more easily moving forward this way. Then we'll inhale the arms up overhead, reach up, full deep breath, and then slowly fold forward, again hinging at the hips and keeping the knees bent any amount, and then wherever the hands land, they land. Don't forget the breath. Then we'll slowly start to make our way up. You can even bring your hands to the floor and just kind of walk your way back up. And then we'll take the right leg out and bring the left foot in. So we're going to take Janu Shirshasana here. Legs are about a 90-degree angle. And again, we inhale the arms up. Turn towards the extended leg and then fold forward. Again, you can keep something underneath the knee. You can also use your block here if you want to rest your forehead. Either way, we'll just come into the breath and allow the body to let us in a little bit at a time. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. Could be more in the hip, could be more on one side than the other. It could also be more in the shoulder blade or the rib area, just by reaching forward with the left arm, because this is a twist as well as a forward fold. You might feel something in your low back as well. Then slowly let's start to make our way back up from this side so we can move over to the left side. So just move any props. Left leg out and right leg in. Get comfy. Inhale the arms up. Turn towards the left leg and then fold forward on this side. Again, the toes are pointed up on the extended leg. And allow the head to come down and rest on a block. You can place one on your shin if you want to, however you need to do it. Full deep breaths. As usual, just being patient and allowing the breath to let us in a little deeper. And then slowly let's start to make our way back out from this side. Move the blanket or the prop. Take the legs out in front and let's cross the right over the left. Again, keeping the extended foot flexed. Then we're just going to take the left arm, hug the knee into the chest, and turn and look over the right shoulder. So the right arm is behind you, pressing into the mat to help you keep your spine straight. So we'll lift the chest a little bit as we inhale and then twist as we exhale. Again, keeping the extended foot flexed and even pressing into the mat with the right foot. On the next exhale, whenever that happens, we'll make our way back to the front. We'll switch sides. Right leg is out in front, left leg crosses over the right, hugging the knee with the right arm and then twisting over to the left. Again, keeping the front foot flexed, lifting the chest a little bit as we inhale, and then twisting as we exhale. Make sure you can breathe comfortably, and if you can't, then come out of the twist a little bit until you can breathe more easily. Feel your belly expand and contract. And then again, on your next exhale, whenever that happens, we'll make our way back to the front, and then we'll come to lay on our backs for a little bit. So coming to rest on the back, let's keep the knees bent and take the legs out a little further. And then take them a little wider, maybe almost as wide as your mat, and let the knees fall over to the left. And then let them both fall over to the right. So we'll go back and forth Just a few times just to settle the spine, especially after those twists. And then we'll pause in the middle and bring the left foot in a little closer. Knees are still bent. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. We'll come into our hip stretch here. So let's bring both legs in towards the chest. And you can clasp your hands behind the left thigh. Keep both feet flexed. Bring everything in and breathe. Then go ahead and release both feet to the mat. We'll come to the other side. So we'll cross the right leg over the left ankle over the right thigh. And then we'll bring the right leg in towards the chest. We can clasp the hands behind the right thigh. Bring both legs in. Keep the feet flexed. And breathe. Then slowly release, bring both feet to the mat again. So this time we're going to take a twist. Go ahead and extend the left leg, bring the right foot to the left thigh. And just take your hand to the outer thigh and twist over to the left. So the right arm is out by your side. Your gaze can be up at the ceiling or even just looking over the right shoulder. Try to keep both shoulder blades on the mat if possible. And then slowly turn back to the front. We'll switch sides. So this time we take the right leg out, bring the left foot to the top of the right thigh, and gently guide the knee over to the right using the right arm. And then the left arm can go out by your side. And your gaze can look over your left shoulder, but if it bothers your neck at all, just look up towards the ceiling. Full deep breaths. And slowly we'll start to make our way back to center one more time. And hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice rock, maybe side to side. Can also take the feet a little wider and cross the ankles and make some big circles. Nice low back massage here. And then let's switch directions. So if you're making circles to the right, we'll make our circles go around to the left. And And then from here, we'll just release the legs again, take them out in front. We'll come into Shavasana. So if you want to grab another blanket or put on a sweater, whatever you would like to do to make it more comfortable. We'll just come to lay on our back. And take the legs out in front. You can also place something underneath your knees if it bothers your back. And of course, the other option is also to take the feet wide and let the knees lean against each other. That's another option too. So we'll just stay here and begin to let go. Let go of the full deep breathing. Just come to the natural rise and fall of your breath, your natural breath. Allow the feet and the legs to start to feel heavy and relaxed. Let the thighs feel heavy, soften. Feel the sacrum on the mat, supported by the mat and then the floor and then the ground, the earth beneath us. Notice the little lumbar curve of your spine. Notice the points of contact beyond that, the rest of the spine on the mat. Soften the shoulder blades. Soften the belly. Soften the muscles of the chest. Soften the whole area around the heart. Allow the arms to feel heavy and soft and melty. Relax the hands and the fingers. Relax the neck and the jaw. Soften. Release the tongue if it's stuck to the roof of the mouth. And relax the muscles of the face, of your scalp, all the muscles behind the ears, around the jaw, all the muscles of the cheeks, around the eyes, between the eyes. Just soften. Very slowly, we'll start to just bring awareness back into the body. Maybe just take a full deep breath first. Wiggle fingers and toes. We'll make our way over to one side. And eventually we'll come back up to sitting. And we'll close practice with hands in front of the heart. Thank you for coming to practice tonight. It was really nice to see both of you. Awesome. May we all be happy, may we all be peaceful, and may we all be free from suffering. Namaste.